Welcome back guys to another video. This is my 2026 F1 after testing predictions. Enjoy. P22, I've got Lance Stroll. Because like Lance Stroll, he's Lance Stroll, and the Aston Martins don't seem very good after testing. But he'll probably be able to score a few points here or there, but still not that good. So therefore I have him in last place, even behind rookies. -1 from before testing, by the way. P21, I've got Valtteri Bottas, -1 before testing as well. I just suddenly feel like Perez will be stronger than Bottas. I don't know why. Because I feel like it's going to be like the Cadillacs at the back most of the time. Maybe like 1 or 2 points, but not much, honestly. P20, I've got Arvid Lindblad, +2 from before testing. Obviously, if you all don't know what I mean by before testing, is the video I posted before testing, but somehow it's not on YouTube. It's on my WhatsApp channel. Go join if you all need. Anyways, I was saying, Lindblad, like, he's a rookie, but him finishing P20 to the 22 Driver Championship is actually insane. P19, I've got Sergio Perez, -1 from before testing. I do see him finishing around here. Like, unless the Cadillac's really that bad that they're going to finish P21, P22. If not, Perez should be able to get a Cadillac around here, because he's definitely a quality midfield driver. P18, I've got Liam Lawson, which is -1 before testing. RB don't look as strong as I thought they would be, and his teammate is Arvid Lindblad, bro. So he kind of has to perform, but like I don't think he can carry the RB much as well. So I have him P18 only. Moving on to P17, I've got Franco Colapinto, which is 2 places higher than before testing. I think the Alpine actually clocked in not bad mileage, and they have the Mercedes engine, which is not too shabby. So definitely he could improve as long as he's less crash happy. That will be fine. P16, Gabriel Bortoleto. No change from before testing. I probably see him ending up around this place. I mean, last year, P19 was definitely not representative of what he actually did in the Sauber last year. P16 probably would have been more representative, and definitely he's going to be growing this year. So I do think that P16 is very valid. P15, I've got Fernando Alonso. -6 from before testing. Yeah, the Aston Martins just really look really bad at the moment. And I don't really see him getting any higher than this unless the Aston Martin improves. But if it does, he's probably finishing in the top 10 because Alonso is a quality driver. Just hope that good things go well for him. P14, I've got Nico Hülkenberg, which is 1 higher than before testing. Nico Hülkenberg, basically like same as Bortoleto. I do expect him to see him beating Bortoleto for one last season, and then if they're still together next season, I do see Bortoleto really outclassing Hülkenberg then. P13, I've got Pierre Gasly, which is no change from before testing. Gasly obviously a quality driver, and as I said just now when I was talking about Colapinto, Alpine look like a decent car, and decent car means that Gasly can definitely score some decent results. So I've got him as high as P13. P12, Alex Albon, -2 from before testing. This is definitely because they didn't take part in the shakedown. Yeah, and then like during the Bahrain testing, they didn't look that strong either. However, I've not given up hope on them, and I've not put them like very low down. They're still like relatively close to the top 10. P11, I've got Isaac Hadjar. Okay. +1 from before testing. I know that like the Red Bull is supposed to be more adjusted to the second driver as well. However, I'm not sure that this can be implemented so fast. Therefore, I've only got Hadjar P11. He's not a bad driver by any means. P10, Esteban Ocon, +4 from before testing. This is definitely because the Haas looks very reliable, really quick. Possibly the 5th fastest car behind the top 4 teams. So I can't wait to see the Haas in action. And yes, this means that I did put Oli in front of him, because I do think that Oli will be better, and Ocon is just like a safe pair of hands. P9, Carlos Sainz, which is -2 from before testing. This once again is the same as Albon. It's because the Williams don't look that good. I had him ahead of Hamilton before testing, but now after testing, I do see him finishing here at highest. And in P8, the best of the rest, it's Oliver Behrman, +3 from before testing. Yeah, I do see this happening, because Oli is definitely a very capable driver, and he's very fast driver as well. So don't ever count him out. for points when there's points to grab it. So I've got him finishing P8. In P7, this is going to be a shock. Lando Norris, -1 from before testing. Yes, I've put the reigning world champion in P7. This is because the McLaren is definitely the 4th fastest car at the moment. Unless they make upgrades through the season, I don't see them getting any higher than the 4th fastest car. And I do think that PSG will outclass him this season. Therefore, I've got him P7. And in P6, I've got Max Verstappen, -1 from before testing. I don't really see Max Verstappen challenging too much this season. Obviously, he'll still be one of the title contenders, but probably not the main one. This is because the Red Bull, as I said earlier, they tried to adjust it to the second driver. So by adjusting it to the second driver, it will be less skewed towards Max. In P5, Lewis Hamilton, which is +3 from before testing. This is because the Ferrari looks relatively fast. However, I do see him finishing behind the other 4 of the drivers on the list after him. Maybe because it's really unpredictable this season. So for all I know, the top 7 could all be in a championship battle. P4, Oscar Piastri, -2 from before testing. I do see Piastri beating Norris this season. And although I say P4 to P7, it sounds like a very big margin. However, I do see it coming to 1-2 points separating those 2 drivers. Because it's really going to be really tight this year. P3, Kimi Antonelli, which is +1 from before testing. Yeah, Mercedes look like they're sandbagging again. And they're still very reliable, completing the most laps, I believe. And therefore, I think Antonelli, although he will not be world champion yet, he will definitely make some solid progress and finish in the top 3 of the driver championship. And in P2, I've got Charles Leclerc, which is +4 from before testing. Ferrari look really, really promising. And if it keeps up like that, Leclerc can definitely do something special here and challenge Russell for the title all the way. But let's just hope that Ferrari don't become Ferrari again and fumble something. Which means our world champion is P1, George Russell. No change from before testing. I've still got Russell in P1. It might be a bit boring, but hey, we're trying to get it right. Can you imagine that Russell is not the world champion? That would be hilarious. But anyway, yeah, Mercedes definitely very fast car. And Russell, experienced driver already, he should be taking the crown. P11, Cadillac, which is -1 from before testing. I still think that Cadillac probably won't finish last, but if you see my driver championship, it's most likely Cadillac will be last based on those. And that Cadillac's a new team, so there's no shame in finishing last year. In P10, I've got RB, which is +1 from before testing. I guess they're slightly better now that Cadillac is behind them, so I guess P10 is reasonable, but definitely a step back from last year while they had Hadjar. I just don't see Lawson being the first driver as very impressive. P9, Aston Martin, which is -2 from before testing. Yeah, this is obviously because of the testing and stuff. They were not very reliable and yeah, that's why they're as low as P9. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they made some very quality upgrades and made it up the Constructor Championship. P8, Sauber, no change from before testing. Yeah, this is around where I expect Sauber to be. It's not Sauber, sorry, it's Audi, I forgot. Okay, it's Audi. From now on, I'll call it Audi, yeah. Audi should definitely be higher than this. I'm not sure why I put them so low. But wait, I just contradicted myself. Sorry, Audi has a new engine. My mind is going crazy. P7, Alpine, +2 from before testing. They look decent in the testing. Probably because they have the Mercedes engine, and I don't think they'll build such a bad car 2 seasons in a row, right? P6, Williams, -1 from before testing. Yeah, this was definitely caused by what happened in the shakedown and the test. I have seen creators putting them lower, but I don't think the fall off will be that bad. P6 is probably where I see them finishing. Maybe P7 at most. Which means P5, I've got Haas, +1 from before testing. Yeah, they really look strong, but I still think that they're going to be behind the top 4 teams. They have Ocon, who has a safe pair of hands, and they have Behrman, although 1 point away from a race ban. He is a very talented driver and he can score huge points. P4, I've got Red Bull, no change from before testing. Verstappen and Hadjar will probably meet somewhere and only bring Red Bull to 4th because that's probably the max they can do with the Red Bull car. at the moment, because it seems like the other teams are stronger than them. And McLaren have two solid drivers. So Red Bull is one perfect driver, close enough perfect, and one great driver. P3 is McLaren which is -1 from before testing. Yeah, I've got another team ahead of them now. If you're paying attention, you'll probably know who they are. But McLaren just seem to be slower than the two teams ahead. One of which, Ferrari, in P2. This is +2 from before testing. They just look like really good in testing. But I know they do glory runs and stuff in testing, but like, come on, man. It's the year of the horse. Let's have some faith in the prancing horses. Now that Ferrari is P2, so obviously P1 is obvious. It's going to be Mercedes. No change from before testing. Mercedes have a solid driver lineup of Russell and Antonelli. Russell, obviously a very consistent driver, can easily score wins, while Antonelli is still developing but not a bad driver one bit. And I think you've seen this before, the F1 bingo inspired by Formula Duck. If you all need, just pause the video to read it. Yeah. So that's all for my predictions. Make sure to leave your own predictions in the comments down below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!